Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. Guys, this just came out the other day from the NASDAQ. It's critically important central bank digital currencies are interoperable. Okay, they're making a point to say this. Central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs, are primed to generate a significant financial shift in our lifetimes. However, unless these instruments heed the lessons learned from fiat currency, innovation will be for naught. Interoperability persists as one of the most significant hurdles to both CBDC adoption and functionality. As such, it's integral that central banks converge on this idea and harness compatibility. Now, how does this read to you? Because I'm telling you how it reads to me. The NASDAQ, a legitimate source for financial knowledge, mentioning that CBDCs must be interoperable in order for the world to be able to conduct business seamlessly and, by extension, leveling the playing field. So they go on to say, however, it's retail CBDC that's causing the biggest stir. If their inherent benefits, such as the ease of storage, use, and speediness are realized, regional retail iterations of CBDCs could readily challenge the dominance of the US dollar. Until recently, bankers and regulatory leaders alike had been somewhat reticent around the notion of CBDCs, particularly in their retail variety. It wasn't until the looming possibility of Facebook's Libra, and I've mentioned this before, Facebook really did put the fires under everybody's butts in order to get their butts in gear. Not only that, so also China's progress with its own iteration, that they truly picked up their ears. Nevertheless, many now regard the advantages of CBDCs, i.e. reducing the costs and inefficiencies associated with cross-border payments, as essential. Now guys, they don't mention Ripple in this piece at all, but let me just go down here. This is a fairly lengthy article. I will link it in the description for those of you guys who want to read further. Down here there's a section called Interoperability or Bust. And what they mention down here, at its most basic function, interoperability would allow multiple CBDCs to interact and exchange data with each other. This issuance of internationally compatible CBDCs could cease reliance on costly and sluggish cross-border money transfer services such as Western Union and reduce dependence on interbank messaging services such as SWIFT. The prevailing legacy system has been in use by major financial institutions since the 1970s, while its scalability and dependability has kept it in vogue for many years. Innovative alternatives have come about that cannot go ignored any longer. Not only is SWIFT expensive and slow, but it doesn't transfer any funds. It merely makes an account of transactions. By that logic, SWIFT is little more than a glorified messaging system. In contrast with the CBDC, the transfer is both recorded on an immutable blockchain or digital ledger and physically, or rather digitally, forwarded to its final destination. Unless CBDCs are made interoperable, however, this intrinsic benefit will be squandered. Well, there is a cryptocurrency that allows for interoperability between any kind of fiat, any kind of CBDC, any kind of crypto, and that is XRP. Not only that, you can source XRP for liquidity if you are looking to transfer large sums of money, because liquidity is the name of the game, as we've already been mentioning here. So unfortunately, interoperability isn't that simple. To achieve full compatibility, CBDCs would need to share the same infrastructure, code, languages, and standards as well as the relevant regulatory systems. This is why we have XRP, folks. According to a survey undertaken by the Official Monetary and Financial Institutions Forum, some central banks have already settled regional agreements for creating interoperability frameworks. Nevertheless, some CBDC projects are beyond the developmental stage, making this a practical impossibility. So, if not all CBDCs will be interoperable, the world will need Ripple and XRP in order to conduct those transfers. Guys, I originally found this article here on the Ripple Reddit, and LJ26FT brings up a good point here. The articles with hype or mostly doom and gloom get the most upvotes. Oh no, my ODL volume, he points out. Then we get an article with an optimistic eye at what the future IOV will look like, with XRP having clear utility, and it's crickets. This right here is bullish and shows how Ripple and XRP have been dialed in since 2013. They've been actively bringing about the circumstances that will lead to the IOV. It needs CBDCs. Regional CBDCs will need interoperability. XRPL has a good chance of being the last mile service for CBDCs, provide wallets and a decentralized currency agnostic, super inexpensive public ledger for retail CBDCs that go directly to the citizens. So very, very, very astute comment there, and a very great article here. And again, guys, talking about CBDCs, even saying here that, it is going to be impossible for everything to be interoperable, but interoperability is what we need in the ecosystem. XRP is positioned to solve for that problem directly. I also got another one here, guys, from Michael at Val5Links here on Twitter. If Grayscale keeps this up, then it's expected that it will own roughly 3.4% of the total BTC supply, approximately 625,069 Bitcoin, by January of next year. Grayscale might even own around 10% of the Bitcoin supply by 2024. This is how much they're banking on Bitcoin. So this is an article here. Grayscale Investments, a subsidiary of the Barry Silbert Digital Currency Group, has now acquired nearly 500 million Bitcoin since the cryptocurrency went through its third block halving on May 11th, 2020, a critical event that effectively reduced the Bitcoin supply by 50%. This week, Grayscale purchased Bitcoin about 3 times faster on average than the cryptocurrency's miners could actually generate new blocks. Kevin Rook, a digital asset analyst who's well known for his insightful tweets, confirmed that Grayscale bought 19,879 Bitcoin worth approximately $184 million in the past week alone. The digital currency will be part of the asset manager's Bitcoin trust. The company now has about 400,000 in Bitcoin, an amount valued at almost 3.7 billion at the time of this writing. So Grayscale accumulating Bitcoin, guys. It is no secret that money will be flowing into the cryptocurrency market once the market picks up, once we get out of this pandemic, once Wall Street investors feel more confident overall to invest in a market that has been hit severely by the events that we've witnessed over the last several months. And guys, the rate at which Grayscale is purchasing is unbelievable. Rook noted that Grayscale's crypto asset investment strategy not only involves simply acquiring large amounts of the digital currency, but it's also now purchasing it at a rate of about 280% faster than new Bitcoin enters circulation. So a large demand for Bitcoin, guys, and that could get the market rolling, which in turn would give altcoins a big boost, I think. So thanks so much, Michael, for posting that. I also saw this here, guys, from Yahoo Finance. Bitcoin has endured a roller coaster of emotions, again, with the Bitcoin theme, but this is all part and parcel to where this market is going, XRP included. So it talks about Bitcoin price, how it was slumping, now how it's back up. At the time of writing, Bitcoin is trading at about 9,200, following a month of relatively low levels of volatility. And although Jim Rogers claims that Bitcoin is going to zero, David Schwartz says, generally when governments restrict or ban things, the result is not a decrease in price. That's right. Speaking out is David Schwartz, and he doesn't think Bitcoin is going to go any lower than it already has. So here's the tweet here. Let me continue down here, though. Bitcoin has been dismissed by institutions and governments since its inception more than 10 years ago, but the fact is that it is still alive and kicking in 2020 reinforces the notion that it's here to stay. They talk down here about how David Schwartz wasn't going to comment on the price of XRP. However, it's worth pointing out that if Bitcoin can continue its positive trajectory to the upside, altcoins like XRP will eventually follow, as profits are usually diversified into lower market cap assets. So, the sentiment remains with even Yahoo Finance also believing that the altcoin market will rally with Bitcoin. And Bitcoin, we have to champion Bitcoin because we are reliant on Bitcoin to get a spec market rolling. Bitcoin needs to run before the alts run in this spec market because, guys, as you know, real world utility isn't as close as we had hoped. And it's building. These are all great things, so we can rely on it building. But at this moment in time, if we're going to make money off our crypto within the next, 6, 12, 18 months, it is going to be with a spec bull run. Hopefully Bitcoin reaching new all-time highs, hopefully in the 6 digits. A lot of people are suggesting that, so there you have it. Got another one here, guys. Some VChain news. This from Ripple Rich at Rich Ripple on Twitter. VChain special edition of the Nike Air Max 1 is verified by the blockchain. So we know VChain, another cryptocurrency that has a use case, and this one's about piracy, okay? Product piracy is one of the biggest problems in today's market economy, which could not yet be eliminated from the market with the measures taken so far. According to data from the analysis service Statista.com, companies worldwide suffer financial losses amounting to $323 billion. One project in the crypto scene that offers a suitable solution is VChain. So let's look at some numbers here first. I just looked up counterfeit China statistics, and according to the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, they estimate that Greater China is the source of 86% of the world's counterfeit goods, a portion valued at a staggering $397 billion, which is similar to this number here that we just read, $323 billion. This statistic was from 2018. And again, guys, another article here from South China Morning Post. Over 40% of goods sold online in China are fakes or poor quality, says state media. So just reiterating the fact that piracy, counterfeit goods, very, very big problem in China. And many are saying that piracy and counterfeit goods make up such a large part of China's economy that it would actually fall drastically down the list if we took those counterfeit goods out of circulation and calculated their real economy, legitimate economy, without those numbers. Chase Steel and the Kicks stand rely on VChain, so the Australian shoe fit manufacturers, Chase Steel, already on the market since 2010, and the Kickstand have announced that they will launch a custom-made Air Max sneaker on June 28th, which will be monitored by the VChain toolchain guys. The special collection will be sold exclusively through the official Chase Steel website. The Kickstand is announcing on Twitter that the new Air Max 1 Cherry from Chase Steel will be launched based on the Study SB Dunk model launched 15 years ago. So guys, another use case here for VChain, the shoe manufacturer supply chain. Supply chain is everything, guys. This is why I think VChain, another cryptocurrency that will do really, really well in the space. I do thank you guys for sending me these VChain articles because I myself am learning more about VChain too. I've decided to, maybe take the leap, talk more about VChain on the channel, and I know a lot of you guys are interested in the project. I only like to focus on cryptocurrencies that I've researched, that I know a little bit about. So I'm not going to shill you any coin that somebody tells me to talk about. I'll tell you something, guys. I get a lot of emails, a lot of emails to the Working Money channel, and a lot of people are asking me, hey, can you talk about my product? Can you talk about this? We'll pay you this, we'll pay you that. I'm like, I want to do the research. I want to know about the product in depth. And if I don't know about the product in depth, I want to learn about it and be upfront about that. This whole sponsorship thing, I feel like, okay, like it can be cool, I suppose, but only if I really, really believe in something. Suffice it to say, I have not taken anybody up on those product placement offers. But just to that point, guys, VChain, another interesting cryptocurrency project that I do believe in after doing some more research. So again, thank you guys so much for sending me articles, and keep sending me articles, because the more I know, the better these videos will be that I create for you guys to watch. Doug Fascio here on Twitter posted this. This is something to watch because Ripple just gave India regulations for crypto and cryptocurrencies, and now they are seeing a demand for their currency. So this has to do with this report, India virtual currency demand rising for top manufacturers and forecast to 2025. Now this is a report that you can download here. This just kind of sums it up. I just want to bring you guys down here to the major market players included in this report. Ripple is one of those market players, along with Coinbase, BitPay, some familiar names for you guys. And the objective of the study is to define market size of different segments and countries in recent years and to forecast the values to the coming 8 years. The report is designed to incorporate both qualitative and quantitative aspects of the industry within each of the regions and countries involved in the study. Furthermore, the report also caters to detailed information about the crucial aspects such as driving factors and challenges which will define the future growth of the market. So they are talking about Bitcoin, Litecoin Dash, Purecoin, Dogecoin, and Primecoin in this report, and then some applications within the telecom sector, media and entertainment, healthcare, retail, travel and hospitality, transportation and logistics, energy sector, and other regions, some countries around the world making up G20 countries. So it's an interesting splatter of a bunch of different factors that will go into this, but ultimately virtual currency demand rising for the top manufacturers. And Doug Fascio brings up a good point here. It is something interesting to look at. We know India is a very, very important country for Ripple. We know back in 2018, Ashish Birla famously came out, said Ripple already had 50% of India, and that ecosystem is just growing and growing by the year. So thought that was interesting as well. Guys, we got Leonidas here on Twitter posting this from his XRP Arcade, Japan's first crypto asset fund to allocate 50 50% of its fund to XRP. Now, this was originally brought to us by Crypto Eri, so I wanted to give her credit as well. And this has to do with the SBI group. They've been the earliest and biggest investors in Ripple. SBI has been actively promoting Ripple and XRP across the region, even creating a joint venture with Ripple SBI, as we all know. But this crypto fund, they're allocating 50% in XRP. This will be made possible through a partnership with an institution that will remain anonymous for now. Interesting. While the entity of the partner was not revealed, details on the timeline and other involved parties were made public. Fundraising is expected to begin during the summer of 2020. The fund will provide individual investors with a crypto asset fund that embodies the resources of the SBI group, using crypto assets which have low correlation to traditional assets such as stocks, bonds, etc., will enhance the effectiveness of diversification. The fund will allocate 50% to XRP, 30% to Bitcoin, and 20% to Ethereum. This as per Morningstar's advice. The large percentage allocation to XRP speaks volumes both in regards to how much faith SBI holds in the crypto asset as well as XRP's popularity in Japan. SBI is continuing to support Ripple and XRP, actively promoting them not only in Japan, but in the wider region as well. Let's get back to this tweet here. Interesting to allocate 50% to XRP, 30% to Bitcoin, 20% to Ethereum. I wanted to go down here, and this from the Cryptic Wolf just posted this. Wake up, people, look at this. It speaks volumes for itself. And it's just showing you the amount of usage for RippleNet in Japan, in that country. You can't see because the country is just covered with little Ripple symbols here. But this is a screen grab from that volume website here posted by the Cryptic Wolf on Twitter. So yeah, popular in Japan, very popular in Japan. It is no wonder that XRP is being highly allocated to this fund, 50%, the highest percentage allocation for a cryptocurrency. Bitcoin coming in second at 30 and Ethereum in third at 20. So great news there. Thanks so much, Leo, for posting that. This one also posted by Michael here at Val5Links. I think we're on to something here. According to blockchain data, wallets containing about balance of 175k to 775k XRP have been accumulating at a full pace. Now, I mentioned this yesterday, okay? And I'm not the only one who's picked up on this. Other people have as well. Blockchain data transparency offers a figurative ocean of information at a click. New data shows that Ripple whales are buying up any XRP small fish sellers are offering up. So when I tell you guys, are you hodling? Are you getting distressed? Are you selling your XRP now? You know, I've noticed so many haters in the space, and it comes and goes in waves, okay? I notice with price action, we see more lovers. Then with price deterioration, we see more haters. And that, I guess, just comes with the territory. But the joke is going to be on those people who aren't patient enough to just wait it out. Guys, the whole crypto market has essentially been in decline, and XRP is just another cryptocurrency in the market that isn't seeing, well, it's seeing some real world utility, but it isn't seeing it at the level that we need it to in order for those prices to rise organically. So it is at the mercy of Bitcoin, the same as every other cryptocurrency. But this just tells you something. The fact that all these whales are buying up, and I don't want to go over this again because I did talk about it in yesterday's video, but the fact that all these whales are buying up large amounts of XRP from the small sellers just goes to show you that people who are in the 0.1, 0.2, 0.3% know something that the rest of the retail investors do not know. They're clearly buying XRP for a reason. What that reason is, I can only imagine. And so down here it says, if XRP whales are accumulating, it could be because history often repeats itself. In the past, Ripple skyrockets after a confirmed breakout of downtrend resistance. If this happens again, the asset could target $14 per token. So I was looking and I was seeing how are they coming up with $14 per token. So I thought I'd take it upon myself to look at this chart here, and what I think they're doing is going off maybe some TA that somebody else did at some point. I'm just going to bring up a Fibonacci here from the last bull run. Okay, and we're going to take it down here to the trough, and I'm not going to move it. I'm just going to create a natural Fibonacci here. Top of the trend to bottom of the trough. And if I extend this out, you guys can see those Fibonacci lines, especially these top ones, really kind of hit those top peaks here. And even this top one basically hit the top there. If we line that up properly, you can see hit roughly that top point there before it came back down, retraced, and then finally made its high. So these top three Fibonacci lines, the 4.236, the 3.618, and the 2.618 are the areas that I'm looking at here. And so guys, if you take another Fibonacci and draw it over this trend here, you guys can see, let me just bring this over so we can shorten it up a bit so you guys can see that trend there. If we bring it down to the trough, the latest low of XRP after it came back down in mid-March due to pandemic fears, brings us down there. So let's line that up. That goes in and around there, guys. And where does that bring us? So we'll look at these top three lines again in the Fibonacci. And one price target here before retracement, we're looking at $8.44 approximately. The next one up here, we're looking at about $11.59. And this one up here, guys, brings us to $13.58, which is almost $14. So this could be what they're talking about in this article here, hitting a new high of $14. And let's not forget, it could go even higher than that. I mean, I've done other models where we're looking at $30+. This only brings us to this, if we go back to this only brings us to this level of resistance before XRP retraced and then went even higher to all-time high. So $14, a lot of people considering that to be conservative. And I mean, if you have a cash out plan planning to cash out some at $14, that sounds reasonable to me. I don't see why XRP couldn't hit $14 in the next bull run. And guys, I wanted to show you this tweet here from Hodl at Hodl Style. Does anyone else hear Lagarde say Ripple instrument at the 40-second mark? Okay, I gotta play you this clip real quick.
An international currency of standing and level that we aspire to unless and until we have a deep European capital market. And we must build that, and I keep repeating it to European leaders. They can't leave that behind if they really mean European autonomy, as it's called. Number two, cooperation with the rest of the world. And, the European Central Bank, yesterday, I'm very proud of it, the Governing Council decided to put in place a new instrument that will allow us to provide euros to countries that can take advantage of that repo instrument.
Wait. Did she just say that Ripple instrument? Okay, no, she didn't say Ripple instrument, although it does sound like Ripple instrument, that Ripple instrument. Really, guys, it's that repo instrument. I know. Not as fun, but One Tough Cookie here says just a little Freudian slip or a little bit of confirmation bias. Repo instrument, Ripple instrument. Somebody up here, I forget who it was now, said, where was it? It was, it was Michael. After listening to it multiple times, it's either that Ripple instrument or that repo instrument. Either way, XRP could be a repo instrument, and it sure could be. A repurchase agreement or a repo is a form of short-term borrowing for dealers and government securities. In the case of a repo, a dealer sells government securities to investors, usually on an overnight basis, and buys them back the following day at a slightly higher price. So a repo instrument, as Christine Lagarde mentions in this clip, is something that they are looking at. But that's not to say, guys, that this repo instrument and Ripple instrument could be one and the same. That's just my opinion, though. I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.